Welcome back to the channel. So today we will not be solving any interview problem, but we will discuss how we can practice PySpark in our local system or in a Databricks notebook, right? And let's see like what all are the ways in which we can practice. So today I will discuss the three different ways in which we can practice PySpark, right? So the first method is like what we can do, we can set up Spark, PySpark in so these things we can set up and we can use PyCharm ID to practice Spark, right? So for this one, like I have created a detailed interview like YouTube video. This is around 22 minutes where I have discussed like how we can set up this in our local where like I have explained from like start basically setting up Java, setting up Python, and then setting up environment variables, right? And I have already also like demonstrated it by creating one Spark data frame, PySpark data frame, right? So like this method is very good, or you can say that this is required when we are building any project, right? We are building any project. We cannot build a project in a notebook or anything like that, right? So while practicing, we like this is not very much helpful. Why? Like if you practice this in local, like in PyCharm, so what will happen for each and every command, you will have to again and again like execute the entire code, right? So this may take time and this is not very much effective when you are practicing like new functions or anything like that. So for that, we have two different other ways. So the second way, what we can do, since we have already installed these things, so what we can do, we can take the help of Anaconda, Anaconda distribution. Okay. So let's see how this helps. So Anaconda distribution comes with a lot of things. Like it has a package of you can say that spider spider ID. Like if you download this, like it will come with spider ID. Here you will get a Jupyter notebook, right? Um, Jupyter Notebook, you will get a lot of ML libraries, or you can say that the visualization tool like Matplotlib and all those things, right? So this thing is very important when we are learning PySpark APIs, right? So let's say you want to explore the explode function, right? Explode function, or you can say that you want to learn how the from JSON work, right? You want to explore the date time, right? So date function. So this thing like what we can do, we can practice this thing in our Jupyter notebook, right? So we have the Anaconda prompt, and there we can discuss, there we can practice all those functions, right? With the help of Anaconda prompt, we can open this Jupyter notebook by installing PySpark, and then we are good to go, right? So this we will discuss, or we can say that we can like have a detailed demo on this. So just wait for a few min 4 minutes, and we will see all this. So now the third way is using the Databricks community version, right? So like Databricks come with a like where there we have to type, like we have the cloud functionality where we have like AWS, Azure or GCP cloud thing, and the second is free version where the community version where we can like we don't have much functionality in this, but for sake of practicing the Spark API or understanding the internal, so this is very important. This we can use, and this is free, right? We can create as many as no notebook we want, and like there is only one cluster which we can create, or we can say that compute we can create. But yeah, this is very good for practicing, and I think you must have seen in my interview questions also in PySpark, which I discuss in mostly in Databricks, right? So these are the three ways in which we can practice a PySpark. Let's see one by one, right? Okay, now if you see, I'm in my PyCharm ID, and you can like follow the video like which I've created. You can set up all these things like Spark, PySpark, and everything in your local, and you can practice like this. So now we are in our Jupyter Notebook, and you can see like I have already created a virtual environment. So in that video, basically, I have like covered all these things like creating a virtual environment, creating a project, and everything. So let me demonstrate how you can practice over here. So we can write demo. Okay, so there is a demo file already, so we cannot like create like this. So what we can do, we can use anything. PySpark practice, right? Let me create this. So now we have the one file, and what we can do, we can create a Spark session. So let me write over here. We will copy paste these things in our other methods. So we can write from PySpark.sql import Spark session, and we can write the very quickly Spark session dot builder, and then um, we can write master. Okay, we need to write master. We can have this as local, right? And we want to use all the codes. That's why we can write star, and we can write app name. Okay, app name. We can have this as PySpark practice, and then get our create, right? So now we have our Spark session ready. So what we can do, we can just create one data frame and like see how this works. So let me copy this and let me paste it over here. Okay, we are getting what all these things. Okay, we have not imported all these things. So let me just right click it and import all these things. Uh, we have imported this. Okay, let me do it quickly. Okay, now if you saw like we imported just by clicking it, right? So this is the advantage which you get over here, but you will not get in the IDs like Jupyter Notebook or Databricks, right? So let me run this. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. So let's say even if you make any changes over here, you will have to execute the entire code again and again, and this may take some time. So basically, Spark takes some time because it uses the distributed framework and everything, right? So if you see here, this is our schema, right? The data frame schema, and we will see the data frame also in a few seconds, right? So this is what I was saying ki like for practicing any function or exploring the things, we must always go with this thing, uh, Jupyter Notebook, not here, like any kind of notebook basically. So here if you see, we have the our data frame, right? So this is method one, right? So okay, now let's discuss the second method. Okay, so the second method was using the Anaconda distribution, right? So let's see how we can set up this Anaconda distribution in our local and do the practice of PySpark. So let's see. So let's jump to here. Let me zoom a little bit. Okay. Now, what you need to do, you just need to write Anaconda distribution. It will redirect you to the download page, and you just need to click here download, and it will simply download it, right? So since I already have, so I will not download it. You just need to follow a simple path, the next, and it will download it. So once that is downloaded, since it is there in my system, so if you see, it comes with a lot of things. So if I write, see, spider, now I have spider. I can write anaconda prompt. So if you see, we are getting one anaconda prompt also, like we have the CMD, and then you can write Jupyter Notebook. We get a Jupyter Notebook also, right? So all these things we get, right? So for practicing PySpark, let's open the Jupyter like Anaconda prompt and see like how we can set up. So if you see here, we have opened this. So the first time, since I already have all those things, so you will have to do pip install PySpark. So if you have already set up using method 1, you will not have to do all those things. Like you will not have to download it again because it will be there. But if you get any error, like PySpark is not defined or anything like that, so you can do this step, right? Okay, now since I have all those things, so what I can do, I can just fire up the Jupyter Notebook. So I can write Jupyter, Jupyter Notebook, and let's see how we can practice in our Jupyter Notebook. So see, it is opening that server, and we'll get this. Okay, now you can see we have it here. So what we can do, we can just create a folder, or you can say that just let me create one folder. Mm, where it is, I don't know where it is going. So what we can do, we can just create one IPOMB file and practice it. So you can write demo PySpark, right? Let me zoom a little more. Okay, now here if you see, we have Py. Let me like write PySpark. Let's see what we are getting. PySpark is not defined. Okay, let's see the Python. Python is not defined, right? So let's see how we can start with it. So let me copy this code of creating the this thing Spark session, right? Let's see. Okay, now if you see, like I already have 3.4.2 in our local, like in my local system, Spark is set up. So that's why we are getting this version. And from here, we can like, if you right click, you will get the Spark UI. From here, you can see all those things, right? Internals basically, right? So this is quite simple. Let's run that code over here also. Okay, let me copy from here the entire code from here to bottom till bottom, right? And let me paste this here. Let me run this. So like here we wrote like this. So like let's say we write Python version. Let's see what we are getting. Okay, now if you see, we have all these things over here, and let's see over here. Python is not defined. So like we cannot do like from here. I don't remember how I used to do. So that doesn't matter basically. So now if you see, we have all these things over here, and we are able to create this data frame, right? So this is quite handy because like whatever you want to practice, you can practice cell by cell. So let's say I want to get the sum of ages, right? Sum of salary, right? All the salary, like so what I can do, I can simply write d of salary, and I can use the d of, and then I can just group the data on group by. And one more thing, like if you press a tab, then you will get this options basically. Automatically it will be written. So what I can do, uh, do we have the duplicates? Um, okay, let's group the data on gender, and let's see the uh, distribution of salary. So we can group the data on this, and we can just write sum of column emp salary, right? And since we are using the sum, and call. So we will have to import, right? So we can import from PySpark.sql.functions import call and sum, right? And let's run this. So this has run successfully. Now let's trigger an action. So df salary dot so since the cell 6 was an transformation, that's why it ran very quickly, but this will take some time because this is an action, right? So this is our second method how we can practice PySpark, right? So let's see. Mm, okay, now if you see the distribution, like the male and female. So this is how you can like, so if you see, like we just ran the sale, we don't have to run it this again and again. But here we had to run it again and again. So this is the advantage of using uh, a notebook for practicing function or anything like that. So this was our second method. Let's discuss our third method. Okay, so till now we have discussed these two methods. Let's discuss the third method using Databricks community version. So let's jump to here, and here like using Databricks community version, you don't have to download anything or do anything. You just need to create an account on Databricks and you are good to go then. Like you just practice from there. So how to do that? Let me demo this. So you just need to write Databricks Community Edition. You will be redirected to here, and then here if you see, this is the login page. Once first you will have to sign up. So you just need to fill your data, right? Let me do it quickly. I can write anything dummy email.com, and you will have to like by the way verify your email, but for sake of demo, I'm doing like this. So let me give the company, let me give the title, and you just need to continue it. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Like here, if you see, this is the professional use where we get the cloud support, right? But we want to use for the personal use. So if you see here, this is the second thing, and you just need to click on get started with community edition, right? So once you start it, you will have to solve puzzles. So let me solve those. Which one is correct? Mm, okay. Okay, it took some time for me to pass that examination of puzzle. So, okay, now if you see, like we need to just verify our email and we are good to go with database. So once you verify it, you just need to log in it. And now let's jump to here. Now, if you can see, this is my account. And here if you get a lot of tabs like catalog, compute. So basically here you get all the computes basically for running any of the notebook, we just need to attach it with the compute or like in like real world, we create a cluster, right? So yeah, so these are the like compute, we need to attach it first, right? So let's create one compute. Basically, it takes a few minutes to compute it. So you can see this a configuration which we get in the free version. So we can write demo compute, right? So we can write demo compute, and these are these things like we do not have to do or install these things. So these are done by the Databricks, and we can just create it, right? Okay, so this will take a little time. So let's explore the different things. So in the catalog, you get the databases table and DBFS file. So like by default, this is not enabled. So what you will have to do, you will have to move to the admin and go to the workspace setting, and you can just enable from here, right? DBFS file browser. So this is done. So we have covered these things. Now in workspace, what do you need to do? Like here you can create a folder. You can see a lot of folder of mine and notebook also. So let's create one folder. So we can create one. Oh, okay. I accidentally created clicked on the notebook, but we want a folder. So what we can do, we just create a folder, and let me write demo, we can say that demo PySpark practice, right? So once this is done, you can navigate to inside that and create a notebook. Let's say you want to write first program, and from here you can simply start. The Spark session is already there with you, so you just start using this Spark variable. So if you see here, we have the different thing like connecting to a cluster, right? So since we do not have any active cluster, and in the free version you can have only one active cluster at a time, right? So this is opening. This will take some time. I will back once this is up and running. Okay. Okay. So now you can see this cluster is up and running, right? And we have connected to that also. So from here you can see we have got a lot of options, like we can restart, we can terminate it after use, and we can navigate to the Spark UI page. All these things are available over here. So this is quite easy and very simple to use, right? Rather than setting up all these things in our local, but we have different advantage and disadvantage of all these methods. Okay, so let me run this. So now you can you will be seeing the version and everything which are available over here. Okay, now if you see, we have the Spark UI, so you can just click over here and this will navigate you to the Spark UI. And this is the version which is we selected. If you remember, we selected 3.4.1, and we have the 8 core. Since the system is of 8 core, so we are getting 8 core. Okay, now so you can see like this variable is available to us. We don't have to create any Spark session and all those things. So what we can do, we can just copy the data from here, and we can copy all these things from here, and we can start running this. So let me go to here. Okay, now we have all these things. So we just need to import this thing. Okay, so what we can do, we can import over here, and let me run this. So for running, you can press Shift Enter. Okay, now you can see this is how quick this is. We have got the schema, and we should get the data frame also very quickly. So this is the Spark UI basically, and let me open this in a new tab where we can see in the very uh, okay. Now if you see, we have triggered one job, so that's why we have one job over here, and all these things we can explore, right? And let's see if we have, okay, now if you see, we have our data frame also. And so this is the notebook, so you can just keep on practicing. You can follow my um, PySpark interview series where I've discussed a lot of interview problems. You can practice over here. So yes, this all are the methods using which we can practice. So if you like this, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. And let's meet in any interview problem. Until then, bye.